How's it going? Welcome back to week 8. Well, as you know, your papers are graded now, and they are back up on D2L and available for you in the online classroom in the Dropbox there. If you haven't gotten a chance to look at your paper, go ahead and do that. What you'll see is, of course, while I try to give lots of comments on rough drafts and help lead you during that stage, generally I just rely on a rubric for final drafts, so I don't give a whole lot of comments. I just try to get everything graded. But if you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate to ask. I am always available, and you are more than welcome to send me an email and ask me any questions about issues with your paper, what you need to work on, things like that. I've already gotten a few emails, and I'll be responding to those very quickly. All right, well, that said, check out your paper. Let me know if you have any questions. This week, your rough draft of Essay 2, the annotated bibliography, is due. So that's what we want to talk about a little bit today and be thinking about. What I want for that this week is a minimum of 3 annotations, right? So I don't expect you to have already done everything, right? And I know that it takes time not only to find sources but also to read them and to get a good feel for how they work and what they're saying. So hopefully you're at that process. You've all selected topics for the most part, and I am still reading through your discussion board posts from last week. But you've got topics, you've got ideas. You should be doing some preliminary research, right? Using the things we learned earlier in the semester about evaluating sources from the internet and whatnot, as well as what you learned from Steve Losey's guide to online research in your reading last week. So hopefully you paid attention to that, and hopefully you're finding some good sources. We're gonna keep working on ways to do that and helping each other as we go on through that. But because we have reached this point in the semester where we're really working on our own individual projects, there is no assigned reading this week or next week. What I want you to be reading are your sources, right? You need to be finding these things and reading them, and then making your annotations about them, right? So again, this week the rough draft due 3 annotations. Complete with citation and annotation. Feel free to use that template that was in your reading from last week. I think it works well, and I highly recommend it. So I want you to be working on your sources. I want you to be going forward with them. And again, this class becomes very individualized at this point in time. So it's very important that you keep up with your work and make good progress with your sources, and also that you let me know if you are having any problems. Any questions that you have, any concerns that you have. If you just sort of hit a dead end, let me know. I can normally help try to open up doors for you and push you in new and interesting directions. That's what I'm here for. So please don't hesitate to ask. But also, what I want you to do is really think about the ways that you can use our course resources to help you. You are still responsible for your blog every week, and as always, you can always write about anything as long as you write 250 words. But I do highly recommend that you use the blog as a place to, maybe start making some connections between your sources. Maybe start doing some brainstorming, some pre-writing, some thinking about what you're going to do with these sources and what you're going to say about these topics. As you make your annotations, you're demonstrating mastery of the individual source, but you still need to start to think about how each of those sources fits together, right? One way you can do that is to maybe do some blogging about it. Use your blog as a space to explore the things you're finding out and what they're leading you to think. So I highly recommend that you do that. Also, we are, of course, doing the discussion board now a lot more. And again, I've got a discussion board topic up for you this week. It asks you to identify the primary research questions that you're asking right now as you go through research. And then I want you all to respond to at least 2 of your classmates and read the questions that they're using and ask them some more questions. What do you want to know about their topic? Hopefully that will help everybody get some input from each other. So the blog really is a space for you to explore your ideas and explore what you're working on and how it connects to things. The discussion board is then a place for you to get feedback both from myself and from your classmates, so that you have lots of different places to start to put these ideas together and start to make your best Essay 4, which is ultimately what we're leading to. So with that said, I want to give you a chance to get to it. Here is your to-do list for this week. Of course, it starts with your rough draft of Essay 2, your annotated bibliography. And I want at least 3 annotations So 3 sources that you've made it through and have something to say about. Um, make sure they're in alphabetical order according to the first letter of the entry. Choose either MLA or APA style, depending on what's appropriate. And if you have any questions about that, let me know. And then, I highly recommend that you use that template that was in your reading. That's totally fine, and I think it's a good template. If you have any other questions about how to set things up, let me know. Then you're also going to do the discussion board, post your thread, and respond to at least 2 classmates. And the instructions for that will, of course, be posted on the discussion board topic on the online classroom. But you're going to post your thread and, identifying your research questions, and then ask some questions of your classmates. Finally, blog and read your blog, and then keep researching, reading, and thinking as always. Any questions that you have, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be available, and I'll talk to you all next week.